Welcome back, book family. If you're new here, this is Paperbacks and Ponytails, and I'm Katie. And today I'm going to be sharing with you a giant library book haul from their book sale near me. I'm sitting on the ground. This is literally as tall as me, or almost as tall. It's about 3 feet of books, lots and lots of books. And they were having a bag sale. I bought 2 bags, so literally almost about 30 books for $8. Literally, like, that's it, just $8 for almost 30 books. That's like 30 cents a book. So I made out like crazy. I'm so excited. My family's not excited because I have like no room on the bookshelves. So I'm gonna have to read a lot next year to make room for these. But I'm very excited to share with you everything that I got. Let me go ahead and put some of these down because the pile is precariously leaning. Let's just say that. All right. So I'm excited. Yes, bag sale is the most dangerous time of the year and the best time of the year. There's another one next weekend, which I will be going to. Hopefully I'll have another book haul. But this one was actually from, not this past weekend, but last weekend. But as I just started my channel, I haven't been able to share this with you. So I'm excited. So if you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I just started out. I have another channel for Bible journaling, but this is my book channel, and I'm just so excited to be here and spend time with you all. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first book was kind of a title and cover buy. It's The Secret Diary of Hendrik Groen, 83 and a quarter years old. And so this is the first book, well, not the first book that I picked out, but I saw it and I don't know, this guy kind of reminds me of Carl from Up, the Disney movie Up. So I had to grab it. I had to. And it just sounds so cute. So this guy who's 83 and a quarter years old, he's bored of weak tea and potted geraniums. Exasperated by the indignities of aging, Hendrik has decided to rebel on his own terms. He begins writing an expose, secretly recording the antics of day-to-day life in his retirement home, where he refuses to take himself or his fellow inmates too seriously. So I have a feeling it's going to be cute. It's going to be funny. Somebody mentioned in one of my book groups on Facebook that this is one of their favorite books, so I'm really excited to read this one. It sounded cute. Okay, the next book that I got is Truth Be Told by Carol Cox. I have never read anything by this author. It is a Christian fiction book. It sounded really good. It says, when Amelia Wagner takes over her father's newspaper in 1893, Granite Springs, Arizona, she vows to carry on the paper's commitment to reporting only the truth. But Amelia soon learns that even the truth can have serious consequences. Her father's revealing articles about the Great Western Investment Company have caught the attention of the wrong people, and pressure mounts for Amelia to retract her father's statements. So, sounds really good. It is, I believe, a standalone, as it says, a novel. So usually with Christian fiction, they usually have like the title of the series at the bottom, which I do very much appreciate when it comes to books, because a lot of the times you don't know if a book is part of a series or not. So it's always nice to have that labeled. So I've never read anything by this author. I'm excited to try her out. I love that dress. That outfit that she has on, that's gorgeous. All right, next book. I have a couple more kind of like biblical fiction. I have a few. Let me go ahead and grab those so that way they're all together. Okay, I think I have them all. I have 3 more. But the next one is Desired by Ginger Garrett. And it is a untold story of Samson and Delilah. So it definitely is fiction based. I believe David Cook is a Christian publisher, I believe. So I'm excited. I really do love, especially like Samson and Delilah is one of my favorite Bible stories. So like I would love to meet Samson when I go to heaven. Like, hey, strongest man ever to live. Pretty cool. Okay, so this is exciting. It says, Desire tells the story of the legendary strong man through the eyes of the 3 most important women in his life. The fiercely loving Jewish mother who nags him toward greatness and rebellion. The impoverished Philistine girl Amara who becomes Samson's bride. And the emotionally damaged seductress, the legendary Delilah, who becomes the instrument of his destruction and the key to his tragic triumph. So, very excited. It's one of my favorite stories in the Bible, so I'm excited to read this. And this cover, again, really pretty. I love the colors, the red and the gold. Can't wait. This is definitely going to be read next year for sure. All right, the next one that I got is Jadeyraereads, Jochebed's Hope by Texie Susan Gregory. So another author that I have not read before. I'm excited to get some new authors that I haven't read. And Jochebed, like, I'm not exactly sure her story. I've read the whole Bible through, but I'm not sure like what her story is about. So it says, Jochebed's entire life has been a faith journey as she seeks her mother's God. The daughter of a Hebrew slave and master basket weaver, Jochebed knows the stories of her ancestors, but wonders if the Lord cares how they suffer under the hand of Pharaoh Ramses, and if the promised deliverance will ever really come. So I'm excited. I really like stories that take place in biblical times. Very excited. Cute cover too. A lot of the covers in Christian fiction are really pretty. I like that one. Pretty colors. Okay, and the last one that I got is, I've heard like a ton of people telling me this is a great book. So it is The Red Tent by Anita Diamante. But that cover, again, really pretty. And I'm really excited to read this one. Everybody's been telling me you got to read this. It's really good. There's even a Lifetime miniseries. So if I like the book, I will definitely be checking out the series. And of course, there is no description of this book in here. That's kind of funny. Usually there is, and there's not one in here. Interesting. But we can read like a couple of, like, let's see. It says, an intense, vivid novel. It is tempting to say that the Red Tent is what the Bible would be like if it had been written by a woman. But only Diamante could have given it such sweep and grace. Interesting. Okay. So I'm willing to give it a go and try it out. And you know, we don't know if some of the Bibles were written by women. We don't know. Like, there's some Bible books that, like, there's Ruth, Esther. Like, we don't know exactly who wrote those. I mean, Ruth and Esther could have written them, but they were the ones who told the story. So technically, God wrote the Bible, but he gave the writing ability to the people to write and give us the Bible. All right, so the next one I have is a historical fiction, and it's called The Aviator's Wife by Melanie Benjamin. And again, I'm a little bit new in historical fiction, not too much, but this is about Charles Lindbergh's wife, I guess, and how they met, and just kind of interesting. So his solo flight across the Atlantic, and how Anne is certain the aviator has scarcely noticed her, but she is wrong. Charles sees in Anne a kindred spirit, a fellow adventurer, and her world will be changed forever. Kind of interesting. I'm excited to read something about Charles Lindbergh. I've never read anything by or about him. I'm excited. Really cool. All right, the next book that I got, I kind of went crazy in the YA section of the book sale. So the next one that I got is The Game Can't Love You Back by Carol Kozo. And it's cute. It looks like a cute YA romance. You know, I that's probably the only ones besides Christian romance that I'll read, because they're usually pretty clean. So it says, Eve is used to being the odd woman out. As the only girl on her school's baseball team, she knows exactly how to put sweaty, macho baseball players in their place. And she's learned to focus on one thing and one thing only, being the best pitcher she can be. I'm excited. Okay. Interesting. I'm not normally a huge like sports fan, but I'm always willing to give something like this a try. And the cover's cute. I think almost all YA romances have like the same type of cover. Maybe it's just me. Okay, and the next book that I got one middle grade. Oh, I got two middle grades. And the first one is The Candy Makers and the Great Chocolate Chase by Wendy Mass. And this is the second book in the Candy Makers series. I have the first one, and I wanted to buy the first one. It was on my wish list, and I found it for 33 cents. How can you go wrong? Or 30 cents. So I'm excited. I think there's only 2 books in the series. At least I'm hoping. But this book is chunky. Like, this is a big, big middle grade. It's also nice and floppy. But I'm excited to read this series. I will definitely be reading at least the first one for middle grade March. But I can tell you about the first one. The first one is about a group of kids who join in a challenge to see who can make the best candy, the next like jawbreaker, the next best thing in candy. So that's what they do. But I know there's like a lot of mischief, a lot of espionage and spy going on. So kind of excited. Gotta admit, I love my candy, and this is gonna be fun. All right, and oh, I forgot. I do have 2 more middle grades actually. I forgot about that one. Okay. The next one that I got was definitely a cover buy because it's my favorite color. And it is the 14th Goldfish by Jennifer L. Holm. And aqua is my favorite color. On camera it looks blue, but it is definitely like that greenish blue color that I love. So definitely a cover buy for me. So I didn't even read like what it was inside. Like, for 30 cents you can't complain. So I just grabbed it. 11-year-old Ellie has never liked change. She misses 5th grade. She misses her old best friend. She even misses her dearly departed goldfish. Then one day, a strange boy shows up. He's bossy, he's cranky, and weirdly, he looks a lot like Elle's grandfather, a scientist who's always been slightly obsessed with immortality. Could this gawky teenager really be Grandpa Melvin? Has he finally found the secret to eternal youth? Interesting. It's also nice and short. I like those nice and short books. Wasn't what I was expecting when I read the inside. Okay. Excited to read this. And then this one I'm excited to have because I wanted to take part in Jade's from Jadeyraereads. I will try to link down her channel down below. But she does a read-along in February, which is called Polarathon. And I've never joined in because I've never found any like polar books that I would be interested in, but I did find one at my library book sale, and there is a second book in the series, so I will have to find it at my library or something for the readathon. But this one is called The Very, Very Far North by Dan Burrell. And this cover, oh, I love this cover. Oh, I love that color combination, the purples and blues and the black. Oh, that's so pretty. I love that. And this is another one that I have no idea what it's about. But it says, if someday you wander north, truly north, to the northern part of north, and you come across the cold, cold ocean, follow its shoreline to a beach that's just right for napping. There you find Dwayne, the polar bear, and his friends. I love that name, Dwayne. So very cute sounding. It says, Dwayne might offer you an icicle treat before introducing you to Cece the owl, Handsome the musk ox, Twitch the arctic hare, Boo the caribou, and Major Puff the penguin. He might ask your opinion on mid-late morning naps and late mid-afternoon naps. Don't worry about the fact that Dwayne is a polar bear. He has only kindness in his heart, which is why his friends love him so. Okay. I'm gonna love this one. I know it. It sounds cute. I love animal stories. I love it. I'm super excited. Okay, so let's see what else I have. We're about halfway done. I got quite a few more books to go. Okay. The next one that I have has been on my wish list for probably over a year now, and I just have not found it, but I'm excited. It's We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, and I'm excited. I've heard that there's a big twist in this. It is more kind of like a thriller, like a contemporary mixed with thriller, I guess. I'm probably wrong. Don't quote me on that, but it sounds good. It says, a beautiful and distinguished family, a private island, a brilliant damaged girl, a passionate political boy, a group of 4 friends, the Liars, whose friendship turns destructive. A revolution, an accident, a secret, lies upon lies, true love, and the truth. Okay, that description sounds different from what I read online, so I'm excited to read and find that out. It's also really short. Perfect, I love short books. Okay, the next one, I don't know if it is YA or adult, which is Come Find Me by Megan Miranda. And I know she's done a few adult books. I think I have one. I know I DNF'd one of her books, The Escape Room. I just didn't like it. But I'm willing to give her another try because I think this one is YA versus adult. So it says, after surviving an infamous family tragedy, 16-year-old Kennedy Jones has made it her mission to keep her brother's search through the cosmos alive. Then something disturbs the frequency on his radio telescope, a pattern registering where no signal should transmit. Interesting. Okay, so I'm not sure if this is my type of book, but I'll give it a try. If not, I can always donate it to a little free library around me. All right, so the next book that I have on here is another, I think it's probably contemporary, I'm guessing. And another cover by, this is The House at the Edge of Night by Catherine Banner. And that's really pretty. Wow. Makes me want to visit there. But it says, wow, Castellamare, probably Castellamare, is an enchanting island off the coast of Italy, far enough away from the mainland to be forgotten, but not far enough to escape from the world's troubles. At the center of the island's life is a cafe draped with bougainvillea called the House at the Edge of Night, where the community gathers to gossip and talk. So it's definitely contemporary style. Makes me want to visit. Like, I would go there and probably live there. Okay, next book I got is the first book in a series which I've been really wanting to read, and it is the Illuminae Files, Book 1, Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. And I've heard that the audiobook is also really good. It is a multiple cast audiobook, which I love, hard to find. But I'm also wanting to read the physical copy because it is all in like different formats. Like there's pictures, there's shorter words, really interesting format here. Like, look at that. Like, oh, that's so cool. This is gonna be cool. I'm excited to read this one. I might have to squeeze it into next year. How cool is that? It's also really big too, but I'm excited. So it says, the year is 2575 and two rival megacorporations are at war over a planet that's little more than an ice-covered speck. Now with enemy fire raining down on them, exes Katie and Ezra, who are barely even talking to each other, are forced to escape on the evacuating fleet. I love a good sci-fi too. I don't read a lot of them, but that one sounds fun. Okay, I do have another, I'm not sure if this is YA or middle grade. I'm thinking YA. But it is The Mighty Miss Malone by Christopher Paul Curtis. And again, another cover by, but I think, who was it that mentioned this book? I think it might have been the Curly Reader on YouTube, I think, mentioned this book, that she was going to read it or wanted to read it or something like that. I can't remember. But it said, we are a family on a journey to a place called Wonderful. That's the motto of the Malone family of Gary, Indiana. 12-year-old Deza Malone is the smartest student in her class, told by her teachers that she is destined for a special path in life. Her older brother Jimmy is no angel, but he can sing like one, and when he does, people stop to listen. The Great Depression has hit Gary hard, and there are few jobs, especially for black men like Mr. Malone. After the father leaves Gary to find work, Deza, Jimmy, and their mother set out in his wake, always holding out hope that they will catch up to him. Sounds interesting. I always love a good, historical fiction. This one takes place in the Great Depression. I have not read any books that take place in there, I don't think, so this one will be good. Okay, so I have a couple more to share with you, about 6 or 7. So the next one was another cover by, and I do love a good circus story. So this one is Circus Mirandas by Cassie Beasley, and that's a fun cover. I just love it. The back says, you have to believe it to see it. I wonder what the cover on the inside looks like. Okay, that just totally shocked me. Wow, is that beautiful. Wow, I might take the cover off and just leave it off. Look how pretty. Wow, okay. I was literally not expecting that. Wow, that is so beautiful. Okay, I was literally not expecting that. I don't normally look at hardcover covers. Now I'm going to go back and look at all the ones that I missed. Okay, I'm glad I looked at that for you guys. Oh, look at this. Okay, I didn't realize that. It's a peephole that shows the drawing on the inside. How cool. Okay, this might be my favorite cover ever. How cool is that? Okay. So this one says, Micah's grandpa Ephraim has always told him wonderful stories about Circus Mirandas, a magical circus he visited when he was a boy. But now Grandpa Ephraim is dying, and terrible grouchy great-aunt Gertrudis has arrived to take care of Micah. All the magic of Micah's childhood seems lost until Grandpa Ephraim finally tells him the truth. Circus Mirandas is real, and the Lightbender, the circus's greatest magician, owes Grandpa Ephraim a miracle. With his friend Jenny Mendoza in tow, Micah sets out to find the circus and the man he believes will save his grandfather. The only sounds interesting. I'm excited to read that one. Now that I saw the inside of the cover, oh, that cover. Definitely want to read that one. Okay, the next book that I got is, it's a long title, Pizza, Love, and Other Stuff That Made Me Famous by Catherine Williams. And this really wasn't a cover buy. I don't go for I don't know, it's like I don't know, it wasn't a cover buy. It wasn't my favorite cover, but it sounded super cute, and it was really small. So it says 16-year-old Sophie Nicolaitis was practically raised in the kitchen of her family's Italian-Greek taverna ristorante when her best friend Alex tries to persuade her to audition for a new reality show, Teen Test Kitchen. Sophie is reluctant, but the prize includes a full scholarship to one of America's finest culinary schools and a summer in Napa, California, not to mention national fame. Sounds cute. So it's definitely a contemporary book. It's nice and short. I'm excited. I'll definitely read that one soon. Oh, I forgot about this one. Okay, so I do have one more Christian fiction, and this has actually been on my TBR since, let's see, last fall, I think. I've been wanting to read it, and I just haven't gotten to it from the library, so I had to return it. And it is The Ringmaster's Wife by Christy Cambrun. And again, that cover is really pretty, but I'm excited because, again, a really cute circus romance story. It says, in turn of the century America, a young girl dreams of a world that stretches beyond the confines of a quiet life on a family farm. With little more than her wit and a cigar box of treasures, Mabel steps away from all she knows, seeking the limitless marvels of the Chicago World's Fair. There, a chance encounter triggers her destiny, a life with a famed showman by the name of John Ringling. Sounds good. So it's about the Ringling Circus, about the woman he falls in love with, supposedly. So I'm excited. I want to have to read this one next year for sure. All right, and then the last couple of books, I have a Diane Chamberlain book, which I have not read anything by her, but it sounded good. It's called The Silent Sister. Let me know if you've read any of these books, and let me know what you thought down in the comments below. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on these. So it says, Riley McPherson has spent her entire life believing that her older sister, Lisa, committed suicide as a teenager. It was a belief that helped shape her own childhood and that of her brother. It shaped her view of her family and their dynamics. It influenced her entire life. Now, more than 20 years later, her father has passed away, and she is in New Bern, North Carolina, cleaning out his house when she finds evidence that what she has always believed is not the truth. I'm excited. I'm not going to read any more because it sounds like it might be a little bit of a spoiler on the back. So, I'm going to wait on that. Okay. The next one, everybody's been telling me to read. Like every time I mention it, they're like, you have to read it, you have to read it, you have to read it. So, I'm finally going to be reading it next year. And that is The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. And this is like a brand new copy. The spine hasn't even been broken or bent or anything. I mean, it's nice. Stays open fairly nice too. But I'm excited. So this is a World War II, I believe. Is it World War II or World War I? It says 1939 Nazi Germany. The country is holding its breath. Death has never been busier and will become busier still. So I'm excited to read it. I saw the movie. It was okay. But I have a feeling the book's going to be a lot better. So I definitely want to read this one. All right. And then I have two more left. The next one is, I think this is a middle grade. I think. But it is A Room Away from the Wolves by Nova Rensuma. And again, probably another cover buy. Most of these were cover buys, just because, especially with bag sales, people go crazy in those. You don't have time to look at the description. So let's see. It says, Bina has never forgotten the time she and her mother ran away from home. Her mother promised they would hitchhike to New York City to escape Bina's cruel father and start over. But before they could even leave town, Bina had a new stepfather and two new stepsisters, and a humming sense of betrayal pulling apart the bond with her mother, a bond Bina thought was unbreakable. Okay, so another contemporary. Definitely, like, I'm not a huge contemporary fan, but I have started to accumulate quite a few, so I'm going to have to start reading some. And then the last book that I got is Parachutes by Kelly Yang. I love this cover. I love cartoon covers, like when they're illustrated like this. Really cute. I wonder if the cover just blue. Alright, so this one sounds really cute. It is a immigration story. I guess they're called parachutes. Teenagers dropped off to live in private homes and study in the United States while their wealthy parents remain in Asia. Claire Wang never thought she'd be one of them until her parents pluck her from her privileged life in Shanghai and enroll her at a high school in California. Suddenly she finds herself living in a stranger's house with no one to tell her what to do for the first time in her life. She soon embraces her newfound freedom, especially when the hottest and most eligible parachute Jay asks her out. So, sounds cute. Haven't read a lot of refugee books, but I'm really excited to learn more about this. I mean, it's not really refugee. I guess it's just that people in Asia wanted a better life for their children. So it's really not refugee per se. She is forced to go to the U.S., but I'm excited to read it. Interesting. Okay. But I do have a couple books that I got from the book sale, but I decided to give away instead to a little free library because they're just not for me. I read the description a little bit and I was like, just not for me. And that's okay. Not every book is for everyone, and I'm okay giving these away. 33 cents a book, you can't complain. Nope. So these are the ones that I'm just going to show them, but these are the ones that I just didn't really feel comfortable with reading. They just didn't seem like my type of books, so little free library funness. I'll go to Little Free Library this week. I'll do a little vlog, and I will give away those books. So that is my pretty giant library book haul. On Friday, I will have a middle grade recommendations video out. And then next Monday, I will probably have another book haul for you all. So I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next video.